Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Eddie Marcus, write-in candidate for President of the United States of America. I had an occasion today where I was watching television and I saw Barack Obama. First of all, excited about the fact that they got this budget mess kind of moving on. And then secondly, a birthday party, getting a chance to fight, highlight his campaign for the future. And he was really going forward as though he can really count on Chicago. And as I sat there and listened to it, being an ex-resident of Illinois, Chicago, I was wondering what was all this about. I mean, Chicago, while a lot of money is spent in Chicago, it is one of the poorest states in the Union. Poverty is really flowing good in Chicago. And I'm thinking to myself how many people are there wondering what they can do to help this man beat the Republicans. They don't want another George Bush. They don't want Michelle Obama or any other Republican for that matter, because they know that the pain and suffering that the Republicans bring, and yet the Republicans want to do everything they possibly can to keep the Democrats from coming there, because they know the pain and suffering that comes in with the Democrats. And on each side, you got people believing in God. You got a divided God. And I only mention that because I know if anyone on either side loves God, they know that God is not divided. God is not a Republican. God is not a Democrat. God is for justice. God is for what's right. God made every last one of us, and God provided that every last one of us should have our dreams. If no one has ever told you, you who are there on either side of this political spectrum, that God is as I have just described, and now I want you to know that you have heard the truth about God. And now I'm calling you outside of these parties and come out and represent God. Stand for justice and fairness. Stand for life for every human being in this country. Make sure that you protect them in every form and fashion. That is my basic concern. You will not get that from a Republican. You will not get that from a Democrat. And you will only get it this way if you put your hands to the plow. It's not going to be given to you. You got to claim it, and you got to build it. You got to say that you are fed up with the lies. You're fed up with having your homes taken away. You're fed up with the unemployment. You're fed up with the crime. You're fed up with the violence. And you want peace. Once in your life, you want peace. And you want to know that prosperity will be there to deliver you from any pain and suffering that comes from lack. And you, my friend, want to know that when you can live in harmony with one another and every last one of your dreams are coming true, you can be hilariously joyful. So that means basically that certain things that are coming amongst us, like housing, like food, clothing, and shelter, education, and health care, and careers of choice, these things are necessary for every last one of us to live, to experience life. And so we must guarantee these things to one another. This is what the future holds. We know we can't go back with the way things have been. We know that we're headed down a path to destruction. And now, by the power of our own insight, by the power of our own hearts, we are not going to be voting for Barack Obama because he's a black man. We're not going to be voting for him because he's a Democrat. We're not going to be voting for a candidate from the Republican Party just because they're Republicans. We're not going to be voting for Republicans just because they're Republicans. What we are going to do, we are going to guarantee to one another that every last one of us will have food, that every last one of us will have clothing, that every last one of us will have shelter, that every last one of us will have access to education unlimited and unrestricted. Every last one of us will have access to health care. And I'm talking about the best health care that can be manifest from these borders of the United States of America. And every last one of us will be guaranteed and supported in a career of choice, knowing that through this process will we create all of the goods and services in such an abundance till every citizen of this nation will be able to take from it as they desire, as they see fit, without causing any pain or suffering on anyone. Now, how do we do this, you're asking? We make whatever adjustments are necessary, because remember, we are dealing with systems of men's thought, systems of others' philosophy, systems. They come and they go. People fight for them, people die for them, but they are only systems. And what you have in any society represents the character of that system. And where you have crime and violence and poverty and other consequences of our negative society, that is a reflection of the character of the system that we have. And we have made and are making a decision that we no longer want to empower such a system. We want to set out from the start to guarantee to one another those things that have been highlighted here. And that's why I'm a write-in candidate, because I got to come in through the back door. No way will they let me through the front door with this conversation, because the doorkeepers don't want you to have this, but you gonna get it, because you gonna take it. Eddie Marcus, write-in candidate for President of the United States, for you, the people. Bye-bye.